Hello everybody, this is Jack Stiles once again on the Option Fair webinars. With me today is our senior analyst from the English desk. His name is Claude Gervais. Dear friend of mine, say hello Claude.
Hello Claude.
Thank you very much Claude. Okay, and today we are going to trade the USD Gdp, okay, which happens in about a little less than 10 minutes now. Now keep in mind, to be set up for this, we are going to have our chart open to our 1 minute. As you can see, it's been a nice trend with the euro getting stronger, but we'll talk about the analysis on that in just 1 second. I'm going to bring that down so we can see the candlesticks a lot better. In the background, we have the platform, of course, and do not forget to have your economic calendar opened. Now, last time we did a live fundamental trading, we tried to use 2 screens. I'm going to fix that today by using only 1 screen. Please, any feedback on how this works would be great. Also, keep in mind that this is high-risk trading. We're not asking you to trade with us. We actually don't suggest it because we're going to do some pretty risky trading here today.
Very, very risky trading.
Okay, but you definitely want to know that this is just a demonstration of what it's like to trade. Do some fundamental trading on a big event like the USD GDP, which is coming up here in 8 minutes. But let's get to Claude. He's going to give us some analysis here.
So just to go over a little bit for some of us, from some of our listeners that don't know exactly what the GDP stands for, that's a gross domestic product, which measures basically how much a country spends compared to what a country actually earns, mostly having to do with import-exports. So if Americans are producing a lot in-house, in the United States and exporting more than they are importing, which will not happen as long as China exists, in my humble opinion, but that will basically increase the GDP. The gross domestic product relies on a lot of factors. It relies on the number of people spending money on long-term goods, short-term goods, spending. That's the key word. Is that clear for anybody up to now? Does anybody have any questions? This is the time to use the senior analyst. No?
No voice here. Hold on a second. You can't. Is anybody else having problems hearing us? Okay, we're good. All right.
All right. So did everybody get what I just went over? What is the GDP and how the growth rate? Now what we're looking at is the GDP, the gross domestic product, of course, of the last quarter of 2014. The last quarter being October, November, and December of 2014. Now, of course, it was adjusted, as every good American does. They look over the data, they release some great news, and they say, well, here's the real good news. It wasn't as good as we expected, but this time they went in full force and actually used common sense in their assessments. It expanded seasonally a rate of about 2.6% in the fourth quarter of 2004. We will be, well, I should say I will be, with my analysis, expect a growth between 2.6 to 2.9%. So check your economic calendars. Just under probably a minute after the news release, you'll be able to see there is the expectation in the middle bar of 2.1%. The last release was 2.6%, and that was the quarter of before October 2014. Now, the Euro-USD is an especially interesting pair, given that it's almost 28 countries in the European Union, I should say, compared to one country with little over 50 states called the United States of America. Any questions so far on how the recent news have affected the euro?
No questions. We're not doing questions until the end.
All right.
Let's do this. All right, guys, I think you just saw I just put a very large trade on. Now, I'm going to trust Claude's analysis here that he's right. Okay, now this is, again, very risky trading. Okay, normally you want to wait until after the event to place your trades to get the number comes out. but I think that Claude's done some very solid analysis, and we should see a very positive report in favor of the dollar. So I dropped $1,000 in favor of the dollar to close 3 minutes after the event. Again, risky. Now keep in mind what's happening here. Okay? What you're seeing right now is a build-up in favor of the euro. Okay, let me make this chart big for everybody. All right? But what you got to keep in mind is that there's a lot of very powerful players in the market right now trading not millions but hundreds of millions of dollars, and soon it might be billions of dollars after the event. And they're trying to draw in inexperienced traders by manipulating the market. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember what happened a couple months ago with all those banks being fined $4.3 billion. It was from market manipulation, but they were working together. But one trader is very welcome to manipulate the market as much as they can. So we're going to see some drastic movements. Look, here you go. There's a quick candlestick down, building up to the event, trying to draw in the inexperienced traders. Now, we're going off of solid analysis. We're going to open up a trade here on the binary options platform, and I'm going to open up a trade a little bit bigger, Euro USD, do a sell trade, okay, and I'm going to put in for 2,500. Now, this is going to give us a pip value of about $90 a pip, okay. If we see drastic movement, we're going to make a lot of money very quickly, okay, but a reversal, okay, a reversal with the current price that's 1.1238. I'm less than 30 pips away. So what I'm going to do is, now that this is open, I'm going to expand my trade to minus 5,000, and that will give me about 60 pips of movement, okay, before I get stopped out, while keeping the pip value at $89 a pip. All right, so now we've got two very large trades going on, okay, before the event happens. All right, we're going to go back to our chart. All right, we are in 3 minutes before the event, and you can see again a little up and down stagger.
These are again the 1 minute charts. People, these are the 60-second charts on the short term.
Okay.
Watch. As Jack was saying before, these are for the fundamental traders, the traders that are only crazy enough to trade the news right when they are released. You have the technical analysis traders, which will always be my friends, which will wait till a little bit after.
You don't use technical analysis. You don't use during events. I don't know what you're talking about.
Watch them after the 15 minutes have done. We will watch this, and we will put some money on it after.
All right. You do your trades. I do my trades. I'm purely fundamental. All right. I like the action. I like the news.
There's a reason I don't put my face on camera. As I said to many of my traders, I'm the biggest nerd here at Option Fair. I got glasses I can see in the future, and yes, I am very technical. Bear in mind, again, we were talking about the GDP. There was a little bit of a change in the residential fixed investments that were partly offset by the negative contribution by the federal government spending. Of course, this is what a fancy word for what they call the stimulus. Also, the continued unemployed benefits, which usually they last about a year. The deceleration of real GDP growth in the fourth quarter, that was primarily reflected in upturn in imports. You can blame Alibaba for that. We all love them. Furthermore, we're looking at 3.9% growth in the third quarter of 2014. But we're looking at the trades right now.
And we're about to go live here, kids. Now remember one important thing. If you're going to trade this, do not try to trade with that first candlestick. Okay? What we're going to do is we're going to watch that first candlestick happen. Okay? It's not fast enough to, you won't be able to catch the trade in the first candlestick. You want to trade against the movement on the retrace. Okay, so we're looking at 4 or 5 minutes in, and you catch the retrace. But what we're going to do here today is we're going to watch that candlestick in 11 seconds, and then we got to go back to the calendar. We want to see how powerful.
Spike. Whoa.
No.
This is 60 seconds.
They're pulling it in. Here it goes.
Look at the price range. Look at the price range. Whoa.
Down. There it goes. Yes, you called it. Nice. All right. It's not that strong. Let's see how big that candlestick goes.
That's a 60-second drop, and it's not even done.
This is the event.
It's not even done yet.
Okay, we're going to flip back to the calendar real quick. We want to see what that number really is. Okay. Here it is, 2.2%. Okay, it wasn't that strong. You were a little off. Okay, but it was stronger, so we'll see some movement. But I'll tell you, it's not going to be enough movement to keep the dollar strong for the rest of the day.
Wow, look at the shadow. Look at the shadow on that 60-second trade.
But let's check our forex trade. Okay, because I think I want to close it out. No, net profits. It's bouncing around.
Close it. That's $450 in profit
on a $5,000 trade.
Take it. Take it.
On a $5,000 trade?
Take it.
We want to make some money.
That's a nice 10% gain right there.
Let's wait for the next candlestick and see if it keeps pushing.
Conservative in me is always saying, close it when you have a profit.
We're going to close that.
Too late. Too late.
It's bouncing right back up.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. No,
so we close for some profits.
We missed a nice $500 profit. But now we're going, okay, look at that candle run. Retrace.
I don't know. This is the number was too close. We're not going to see a lot of drastic movement now. Sorry to disappoint you guys. This was not the most eventful, not as much fun. I think we might have, in 3 minutes, we could probably pull out on top of our binary options trade. But this was definitely not the NFP.
We're in the money on our binary options trade.
We are in the money.
We are in the money.
Hopefully we stay there. The Forex trade, we closed away. We walked with a little bit of profit. At least we had no losses. Let's look at the charts. It's going to keep pushing down, but I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that it's going to. Yeah, there's getting a little retrace right now.
The relative strength index on this is going to be off the roof in the next 5-10 minutes. Look at the shadow on the first opening.
Let's open RSI and see.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, it might dip below 30 and then force it to go back up on a reversal, but yeah. Well, honestly, this wasn't the most exciting event.
But at least we pulled out a profit for now. Any questions?
Made a little money, you know.
There's no such thing as a little money. You're making profit. Profit, profit, profit.
Let's see, we're going to close
30% profit, 10% profit is better than 100% loss on a capital.
All right.
Trust the conservative trader. Trust the nerds. Does anybody have any questions up to now or comments?
We're going to open up the questions. Anybody has any questions, comments? There we go, 790. We walked away with about $800 on these trades today.
I like it. $800 in profit.
Not bad.
A little more because we got another $800 on the
Let's look at the chart again. You'll see a little movement, but this is going to stay pretty level. I don't think the dollar is going to get much stronger for the day.
Going to your boundary for a second.
What,
on the boundary?
Boundary, you don't trade boundary during
No, I just want to check something. I want to look at the, if it's pancaking.
No, it's not open until after the event. You can't trade boundary during an event, so you could win it every single time. You say out of bounds, out of bounds, out of bounds.
Right.
We always shut down the boundary platform, same with the touch. Excellent. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves today. You know we're going to do a lot more webinars as we go along. Definitely stay tuned. I think Claude will join me on the NFP next week.
Oh, definitely.
All right, so be prepared for that. Everybody have a wonderful weekend, and thank you guys for trading at Option Fair.
Don't forget our YouTube channel.
Right. Look up Option Fair Forex right now for the YouTube channel. This will be posted afterwards. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much.
Make profit. YouTube, Chris Atlas.